like and wish to be alerted every time we release a new episode, please subscribe and like us. Thank you very much for following us.
Welcome to the webinar organized by the World Sustainability Organization on sustainable fruit production and sustainability certifications. We will see a case study on Pomegranate by Masseria Fruttirossi, certified by Friend of the Earth. The World Sustainability Organization certifies products from sustainable fisheries and aquaculture with Friend of the Sea, and products from sustainable agriculture and farming with Friend of the Earth. In this webinar, we will see fruit production and its environmental and social impact, sustainable fruit production in general, Friend of the Earth certification of sustainable agriculture products, pomegranate market update, an introduction to pomegranate as a superfood, sustainable pomegranate production and processing. Then Masseria Fruttirossi will show us their case study. Fruit production and its environmental and social impact. We know that 868 million metric tons are produced worldwide. The main producing regions are East and South Asia, Latin America, Southeast Asia, and Southern Europe. Over 50% of fruits and vegetables are grown on farms less than 20 hectares. For example, in Guatemala, some 200,000 rural families were reported to benefit from banana production in 2019. In Europe and Northern and Central America, medium-sized farms dominate production, with farms between 20 to 200 hectares. In Latin and Central America, as well as Australia and New Zealand, larger farms dominate production. We see some tables on fruit production and its environmental and social impact. Fruit per crop, we see that bananas are produced in more than 116 metric tons, million tons. The most producing region is Asia, and the largest producer as a country is China. Let's take a look at fruit production and its environmental and social impact. As we can see from this slide, the most, let's say, dangerous and impacting aspects of fruit production are refrigeration, agronomic operation, irrigation, and fertilizers use. On a lesser extent, also agrochemicals, deforestation, and plastic use pose a threat to the environment. What is sustainable agriculture certification according to Friend of the Earth? The basic principle of sustainable agriculture is the maintenance of a balance between the demands for food production and the preservation of our natural environment. Sustainable agriculture, therefore, is a type of farming that focuses on producing sustainable agricultural products without compromising the ability of current or future generations to meet their needs. The use of sustainable agricultural standards and certifications is a way of communicating to customers that the product is sourced from agricultural programs and food systems that focus on issues related to the sustainable use of our precious resources. Friend of the Earth certification of sustainable agriculture products. What do we focus on? Friend of the Earth has a set of certification criteria that are connected to requirements. As we can see, ecosystem conservation, protection of wildlife, farming and agricultural management systems, waste, water, atmospheric land management system, conformity with legislation, social accountability, and energy efficiency are the most important criteria. For each one of these, some requirements need to be met by every farm that wants to certify. Friend of the Earth certifies sustainable agricultural products, so let's see some examples. Rice, spelt, corn, quinoa, coffee, wine, olive oil, and many others. Now let's take a look at pomegranate in detail. What is it produced? We can see a graph here with the main producers from 2012 to 2019. So when is it harvested? Pomegranate is harvested in different seasons according to the geographic location where it's produced. To give you an example, we can see that in Italy it's harvested in January, October, November, and December. In the southern hemisphere, it will be the other way around. Now, let's take a look at where pomegranate is exported. Let's take a look first at the leading exporting countries of pomegranate between 2012 and 2019. We can see the largest one is Turkey with the light blue color on the bottom of each column. Now let's see where it is imported. We see that Iraq imports 91,611 tons. Russia imports 86,000 plus tons. The Netherlands imports 74,000 tons and more. Now let's take a look at the import volume and the import value between 2012 and 2019. In 2012, we can see that the volume was just below 500 tons of import. The value was between 300 and 400 billion euros of value. Let's take a look at the market update on pomegranate. Let's take a look at the global market analysis by application and consumption. Global pomegranate market analysis by application. So the food industry absorbs most of it on the pie chart with the light blue color. The cosmetic industry follows, and then the pharmaceutical one with the gray. What are the main uses of pomegranate? We see that it is used to make juice, syrup, seed oil, Arabic gum, beauty products, pharmaceutical products, and it's also turned into powder. Of course, it is also used raw and fresh. We know that it is a superfood. It belongs to the Punicaceae plant family. It was originated in the Middle East. The genetic diversity gives different physicochemical characteristics of the product. The bioactive profile, so the superfood aspect, is influenced by cultivar, climate, cultivation practices, and storage conditions. So what is sustainable pomegranate production and processing? We know that different varieties can be used. The wonderful variety, it's the name, is the most widely cultivated, very productive, harvested in mid-October. Then we have ACO and other patented varieties. Let's take a look at soil and climate requirements. It is widely grown in many tropical and subtropical countries, especially in temperate agroclimatic conditions such as in Mediterranean regions. It is a highly adaptable plant. It thrives where many other cultures are not productive. It is resistant to minus 10 degrees Celsius, and in all types of soil it thrives, exception made for poorly drained and heavy clay soils. How do we farm it? Soil preparation is the first thing to do. So before planting, deep ripping, preferably with subsoilers rather than plow, 70 to 90 centimeters deep, followed by disc harrowing. Soil bedding is recommended. Planting material can be made of cuttings of 1 to 2 years branches treated with rooting hormones. Grafting sometimes is used to make plants with a stronger root system. Planting density is typically 500 to 600 plants per hectare, and after planting, mulching is recommended to increase water efficiency and decrease the weeds problem. It can be made of polypropylene sheets or biodegradable materials. Irrigation is best done with drip techniques to improve water efficiency. It is also used to deliver fertilizers. Water requirements range between 3 to 4,000 cubic meters per hectare per year. Production starts at second year and full production can be reached at year 5 or 6. 25 to 30 metric tons per hectare per year can be obtained from this cultivation. So, what is sustainable pomegranate production and processing when we look at processing for juice? We start with fruit sorting. So, substandard fruits can be eliminated. Fruit washing comes next, so dust and pesticides can be removed. Peeling and deseeding, of course, we need to take off the external layers, and the peel, which is very thick, contains many flavors, many off flavors that can damage the juice palatability and taste. Juice extraction is done typically with screw shafts that apply pressure. Then the juice is separated from the waste. Juice filtration then takes place, sometimes with enzymes. Then the juice is pasteurized. This will increase shelf life, and containers are filled in aseptic conditions. Now let's take a look at Masseria Fruttirossi. So we will ask them to talk about the reality, so to share their experience with us. Thank you, Masseria Fruttirossi.
Many thanks. Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation and to let us discuss with you this this world of this fantastic fruit represented by pomegranate, now since a few years well known as superfruit, thanks to the excellent properties inside and thanks to the possibility granting this fruit to be consumed in different ways. I mean, not only as a table fruit, but also as juice and as fruit ready to eat, such as the arils, for example. So now I will try to share our presentation. So one of the typical characteristic of our company is the very short supply chain. I mean, because, well, first of all, the project was born since a few time ago, only in 2014, thanks to the idea of the actual owners of the company, Michele De Lisi, my father, and Bruno Bolfo, which are the first lovers of this fruit, pomegranate. So we started 2014 with the first plantation of 5,000 plants. And in a few years, we reached an important extension of 350 hectares with more than 150,000 plants. These numbers give Masseria Fruttirossi as the company leader in Italy for the production of pomegranate. Well, the project, of course, as a principal actor, the pomegranate, but generally speaking, the super fruit. I mean, fruit that have a good taste, but also giving some healthy support to the people, of course. All these activities, starting from the field, but from the orchards, but also inside the plant, we do it in a sustainable way, ecological and sustainable way, which we will see in the next slides how we act every day. I mean, so first point, sustainable point is for sure the very short supply chain. As you can see from this picture, our warehouse is really inside the orchards, the pomegranate trees. So the fruit are harvested and go directly into the warehouse. We don't need this fruit making 1,000 kilometers to reach the warehouse to be processed, but we have all in-house, and thanks to this we can act production process in a natural way without use of additives, preservatives, or sugars added. As we told before, the queen, let's say, because it's a fruit, also thanks to the crown, it's really a queen fruit, but full of benefit, because inside also recent scientific publications have pointed out the huge quantity of mineral salts such as potassium, magnesium, selenium, and zinc inside. We used some varieties which have also a good aspect. You can see from this picture the fruit are really with the vermilion red skin, but also inside the areoles have the same color, very attractive. And of course, inside we can find a huge quantity of anthocyanins, substances such as antioxidant, having also the usual effect of the antioxidant together with the polyphenols and tannins. So we can describe this fruit as an elixir with extraordinary properties, helps to keep fit, prevent cardiovascular disease, and reducing cholesterol, counteracting cell aging in a natural way without use of any chemical tubs, of course, that we can find in the pharmacy. As previously pointed out, we use good practices to obtain great fruits. So our commercial goals and protection of the environment, we can just explain and to be witness that both goals are available and are not incompatible. They can integrate and enhance each other. So synergy between efficiency and respect for nature grants economic, environmental, and social sustainability of our project. In fact, in our warehouse on the roof, we have a photovoltaic system with the power of 750 kilowatts, makes the plant independent from external power sources, limiting the CO2 emissions. Also, advanced environmental, vegetation, and meteorological sensors in the orchards are powered by solar technology, allowing a considerable saving of water and energy. Basically, thanks to this system, we can open the water just in case of need. I mean, when actually the plant need to receive water. We have also a system of micro irrigation, enabling the process to save water and to give the correct quantity as it is necessary. We have also realized a real example of circular economy, because after the extract of the juice from the pomegranate, all the remaining material, I mean the skin of the fruit, but also the pulp, after pressing, we do not dispose it as garbage, you know. So we realized a warm composting system that in a natural way process like the digestion, we produce humus that we are going to introduce in the process thanks to fertilization, you know. So we don't use chemical fertilizing, but mostly is humus internally produced. Thanks also to this good practice, we have been able to receive also the certification from Friend of the Heart, zero residues for our production. Our fruit absolutely do not have any chemical residues, and this is something very appreciated from the market. Another good practice is that in our zone we just bought some fields normally abandoned, and we returned it to its purpose, the land, through an integrated project of supply chain. Also, all the management workers are in compliance with all Italian laws and regulations, allows them to live their working experience as fully as possible, participating and growing together with the company. So let's say that we have a method, Lome method, starting from cultivation, made using rigorous agronomic standards that guarantee the minimal environmental impact. The harvest that is carried out by hand and selecting the best fruit and preserve their integrity. After the harvest, we process the fruit at 0 kilometers, because as we see from the previous picture, the warehouse and the process plant is really inside the orchard, just after a few minutes from harvesting, with the innovative methods preserving organoleptic and nutritional properties of the fruit. Then, as we told before, we have the fertilization made out by earthworm composting plant, reusing the residues which are transformed in humus in the agronomic cycle. Well, certification, of course, is important because people sensible to this attitude are growing. Many people, when they buy something, they would like to know how this product is made, and the certification, of course, is helping the people to make the correct choice when they buy something. So we are proud about this, and the certification received by Friend of the Heart is matching our activities and our idea how to make a product, which means in a natural way, without use of preservatives, dyes, acidity regulators, or any kind of synthetic chemicals. An intense work aimed at the protection of the precious fruit and consumers' health. So, Paolo, this is our presentation, and
thank you very much.
I can just give you back the control so that you can proceed with your program.
Great. I wanted to ask you, do you have many pest issues on pomegranate? like insects or fungal disease?
Yeah, let's say that in the middle of the growing, in summertime, we have some problem about this, and this is something which pomegranate are quite sensible, and we used to fight, of course, them in the best way as we can do, in the way to reduce, of course, the use of any chemicals, thanks to the good practice.
Great. Is it more insects or more fungal?
Well, fungal depending from the weather conditions, of course. When we have long period of moisture, humidity, the fungal, of course, coming up.
Okay.
If we have dry weather, of course, this problem is less, is minor. But insects, in particular aphidae, I don't know the name in English,
Yeah,
affecting the plant quite often.
I understand.
Yeah,
It's a growing problem.
yeah,
Growing problem.
correct.
I'm looking. Aphids. Aphids. Yes. Yes. The small
Aphids. Yeah.
friends. Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Delisi.
You
Now
welcome.
let's try to look at the answers to our questions, because we made a few polls while we were working, and we can try and show the results to everyone. Results are shown to everyone. Great. What is the largest fruit production located? We have a draw, 5-5. 5 votes for Europe, 5 votes for Asia. Well, actually, Asia is the largest fruit production continent. Let's take a look at this. When is pomegranate show to everyone? Here we go. When is pomegranate harvest season in India? November to April got 7 votes, and October to January got just 1 vote. Let's take a quick look at the presentation for the harvest seasons. And the right answer is November to April. Now, let's take a look at the next poll that we launched. Which of the following is a pomegranate variety? Arbequina, Aco, or Piccadilly? Arbequina is actually an olive variety, so it got 1 vote. 3 votes for Aco, which is a pomegranate variety, and Piccadilly is a tomato and got just 1 vote. So what is the best certification standard to identify lowest impact agriculture products? 0 kilometer food, organic, integrated pest management, emissions free, IPM plus social accountability. So we got IPM plus social accountability, 3 votes. Actually, yes, integrated pest management with an eye for social accountability is probably one of the best certification standards available now. Excellent, excellent. So most of the questions were answered correctly by most of the participants. Great, great. So I can see a few questions here. Can you see it, Dr. Delisi? Can you see the questions? Okay. There is one for you, actually. We cannot hear your voice. Maybe you should
Okay.
enable.
Yeah, now microphone is on. Yeah, I can see the question. Let me see the one for me. Is something regarding the slides, but I cannot see any particular request for me.
Okay, maybe you cannot see it. I will read it for you. Question to Dario De Lisi. Where does this project come from, your project? Was it a will to of diversification, to experiment new culture which has success on markets, or climate change, So why did you decide to go for this kind of production and process?
Well, first of all, let's say that we are coming from other fields, other experience. I mean, we are
Okay.
not, um, but we're not born with agriculture, but in other economic field. But the love for agriculture, of course, is since the very beginning. And when my father and the actual other owner of the company decided to put together their efforts and economic efforts to integrate the project, we made a study, of course, and we the choice, I mean, of the fruit to be the protagonist of this project, we decided that it was the pomegranate, of course, because from pomegranate we realized that even if it was a very ancient fruit, I mean, probably one of the older fruit that we know, such as the apple or the grape. No, we can find pomegranate also in the Greek mythology. No, we can find it also in the some paint so famous. No,
Yes, it's a very beautiful fruit and is used for decoration sometimes, right?
correct.
Just for
And
decoration.
even if it was so old as a fruit, never so used for a large consume. No? Mostly used as a tree for in the garden, to
Ornamental.
yeah, correct. Also, we realized that the market was looking for something with a good taste, but also giving some healthy benefit to the consumer. And well, we found the pomegranate in full conformity and fully matching this request coming from the market. And we decided that pomegranate was the correct fruit to build up a full project coming from the field production till the sales, I mean, and also production of final products such as juice, such as ready-to-eat arils, and recently we also realized some dietary supplement because pomegranate is particularly indicated also for this use, for this final product. So really, we are happy, of course, with this choice. And we saw after only a few years that interest of the market is growing. And it's not easy, of course, because we have a huge production. We expect in the next years to reach 12,000 tons of fresh fruit coming from field.
Wow.
So it's a huge quantity. And but on the other side, we are working to make a good job, make a good communication, and of course make a good product for the market.
Great, great. We certainly agree with your choice. I just have technical curiosity. It is a difficult fruit to peel, right? Is it done by machine in your case?
You mean for the juice extraction or for table consumption?
No, for processing, for juice, for yeah, for extraction. How do
Well,
you get the grains, the arides, separated from the
well,
internal
let's
part?
say that in Italy we are, let's say, a sort of pioneer, because even if Italian technology is well known all over the world for the food industry, as a dedicated machine to work the pomegranate was not existing, of course. So we made experience together with our supplier to improve machines and make correct machines to work the pomegranate in the correct way, because one of our aim was also to preserve all the benefit of the pomegranate, of course, because our goal is to keep all the organoleptic values of the fruit intact, such as the fresh one. So to do this, you need a good technology, good machines, of course, and good practice as well. To do this, of course, we do not process pomegranate pressing the whole fruit. I mean, we have a machine taking care to open the fruit, extract the areoles inside, and pressing only the areoles. This is a good advantage because, as you told before, the skin inside the fruit and also the external skin, if you press all together, the presence of tannins inside these skins is affecting also the flavor of the juice. Instead, if you separate the skin from the areoles inside, you can have a good taste, but in any case, the same properties, healthy properties inside. So in this case, you can reach a double, let's say, goal. The taste that is important for the market, for the consumer, but also the benefit as well.
Great. So you also participated to the design phase of the machinery. That's great. You're opening the way for other producers as well. Great. Thank you very much. This was a very interesting session. We found out many information on a new commodity, you can say. There is another question for you, Dario, by Giulia Commander, if I pronounce it correctly. What kind of processing do you do? Do you sell only fresh fruits? No, we know that they process fruits. What kind of end products do you sell? Do you produce?
Yeah, of course, our project is to work all the fruit coming from the orchards, and from the orchards we have the first processing is with the sorting machine, and sorting machine is helping us to split the correct fruit with the correct quality for the fresh
I think
market.
she was the products you make, like juice, jam.
Yeah, I was explaining. I mean, we cover not only the fresh fruit market for the table consumption, but also the beverage sector. I mean, and to do this, we have two different kind of product. We have the fresh one that is like a squeeze, and we we use the innovation machine inside the warehouse that is the high pressure processing machine. In this case, we can obtain an extension of the shelf life of the product up to 60 days, such as a fresh squeeze done at home, but with the advantage that while at home you have to drink the squeeze in half an hour about, otherwise the oxidation starting immediately of the juice.
Yes.
Thanks to HPP machine, you can keep in cold storage the bottle up to 60 days about. And this is something very important for the market, but thanks to this extension of the shelf life, we can reach also other countries, in particular European countries, which can be interested to buy a natural product like the one we do. In particular for pomegranate, probably in Italy we are the only one doing pure 100% pomegranate juice from fresh fruit, not from concentrate.
I see. What is the average yield in juice from 1 kilo of pomegranate? I mean, I'm sure it's not always the same, but just to have an idea.
Well, just to have an idea, you have to consider about the 38-39% in juice from yeah. So from 1 kilo of pomegranate, you can extract about 380-390 milliliters of juice.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Excellent. Great. So thank you very much, Dr. Delisi.
You're welcome.
All the polls were answered mostly correctly. We will make available this presentation on our website, and please stay tuned to our website for a new situation like this, where we can exchange opinions and get updated on new agriculture and food issues. If Dario Delisi agrees, we can end this session.
There's another question interesting.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay. In the production area in which the company operates, there were problems of black earth. Alternaria, what measures of ant have been used to prevent the problem? Is it? I think we're looking at a pest issue. Alternaria. Do you have alternaria on pomegranate farming?
Sometime, yeah, and it's really a problem, Alternaria, because externally you cannot see the presence of the problem, because the fruit appear like a normal one with the red skin without any particular problem. Color is the same. Mostly also the weight of the fruit remaining more or less the same, but when you open it you can see black inside.
I understand.
This is a problem that of course we have some solution, some treatment of course during the agronomic process in the field, but in the sorting machine we have there is a particular system helping us to look inside the fruit, really, such as a sort of X-ray. I mean,
Okay.
in such case, even if it's difficult to individuate the alternaria when the fruit is subject to alternaria, thanks to the technology, we can also just individuate the fruit affected and separate them from the other one for the market, of course.
Is it an automated process, or it requires an operator to stay there and check the fruit one by one?
Well, all is done by machine. There is a particular software inside. This also is a prototype machine, because as we told before, nobody. It was the first time in Italy to make a sorting machine dedicated for pomegranate. So In the last years, the technology is improved thanks to the assistance of the supplier and collaboration with us. So, in the first step, all was done by the experience of the people inside working, which was able to check the fruit in the correct way. But now, thanks to this possibility, we have the help also from the technology as well.
I understand. Great, great. Very good, very good. So now we thank very much Dr. Lisi for this explanation. As I said, our website to find out we post the PowerPoint presentation and future events. For any kind of information, just feel free to contact us regarding sustainability and our standards, which are from the sea to the land. We are always very happy and very available to provide explanation on our work and on sustainability in general. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to you, very kind.
Subscribe to our channel to get more content about sustainability.